welcome to another episode of Home Drums Podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy D. On today's episode, we're featuring Julia Clarkson, a woman who is a force to be reckoned with in the world of investment banking. But outside the boardroom, she's a proud Bajan who has never lost touch with her roots. And today she's back in Barbados to celebrate her birthday with friends and family and to enjoy places that helped shape her. Right now, we're in Walker, St. George at Bamboo Retreat. Let's go find the birthday girl. You are. Hi, Julia.
Hi.
Giving you some birthday love. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
And welcome back to Barbados.
Love being here. Love coming home.
And I gotta say, I can see why you chose this place. This is nice. This is nice. The ambiance and everything. But tell me, what does it mean to you? Because I know today's all about you selecting places that actually mean something to you.
Yeah. So this place is right across the street from my girlfriend Kim's house.
Mm-hmm.
I love coming home specifically to contribute to like the Black experience, support Black businesses. And so when she told me that her friend owned this place, I'm like, I'm here. I'm all over it. The fact that this is in the community, run by a brother.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
And how did your friends feel when you told them you were spending your birthday here in Barbados?
I
know you have some friends with you.
I do have some friends with me.
So what was the reaction like?
Everybody is so happy to be here. Two of my friends have been here with me before.
Mm-hmm.
One is returning, didn't have that greatest experience the first time, so I had to come and show her she was like for real. And then one is new, and so she's enjoying it and experiencing it for the first time.
It's your birthday right now as well too. So is there anything happening today that you're really looking forward to the most?
Besides this interview,
this.
Probably just having dinner with them later on. Yesterday was my actual birthday, so we did a catamaran cruise, Tiami catamaran cruise, and then we ended up at QP restaurant, which was amazingly beautiful, and yeah, just hanging out with the girls.
So I know there's one thing about you. You rep that Barbados flag no matter where you are.
100%.
So if anybody asks you, what's the one thing about Barbados that you recommend?
The one thing, the thing that I recommend to every single person when I come home is to get lost. Get lost in Barbados. Right. You will be safe. Rent a car, drive around if you can, follow the road. If you see somebody at a corner cooking anything and you want to stop and ask for a plate of food, somebody will probably offer you some food. Like it's wonderful. And so that's the thing that I recommend about Barbados. Like, get lost in the experience of being Bajan.
Mm-hmm. And you know, there's this old saying in Barbados that all roads lead to home. So do we ever really get lost? You will always find your way back, for sure. Always find your way back. And I want to tell you as well too, thank you so much for allowing us to spend a part of your day with you. You know, we look forward to seeing and learning more about you. All right.
Absolutely.
Our next location is your childhood home. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I want all the tea. As soon as we get to the house, I want all the tea, okay?
Done.
All right, so let's go. All right, so I want you to tell me a little bit about what keeps you coming back home to Barbados.
So in Bajan parlance, my navel string berry here.
Yeah.
So it's the roots, it's just the culture. And as a little Black girl going to school with different cultures and teachers making fun of you because you come from someplace called Barbados.
You're making fun of me?
What?
Whoa.
They used to I had a 4th grade teacher that used to make fun of me. Oh, there's no such place as Barbados. Oh, we're going to blow up Barbados. And that forced me to kind of like dig into my culture even more. Right? And so back in the day, when you had Encyclopedia Britannica, my parents had, this is way before internet, Google, all that stuff. For me to read that Barbados had the highest literacy rate in the world, and you're an 8-year-old girl who's one of maybe 5 colored children, and by color I mean like, Hispanic,
got you.
but 5 brown children in a class. So, and going home all the time and coming back and telling my 4th grade teacher about literacy.
Yeah.
You might want to check again before you tell me something about blowing up my country.
And I love the fact that you took that moment and said, you know what, I'm going to learn more about my country. I'm going to represent Barbados even harder
100.
because I feel like there's so many people who would take that moment and then like try to blend in more and not represent. So at such a young age, you had such a strong spirit. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah. Had to. I mean, it was me and my parents, you know, kind of against the world. I did not even become a citizen of the U.S. until I was 13, right? Because I came here I came to the United States when I was 3 and then naturalized at 13, which means that when my parents became a citizen, I became a citizen. And so the other thing that they kind of instilled is that Barbados is home. So as far as I know, when I'm going home, I'm going to Barbados. I ain't going to any other country or anything else. I'm going home. I'm not going to visit Barbados. I'm going home. So yeah, that's how I think about it.
That is beautiful.
Sorry to cut you off, but I also wanted to instill that in my daughter, right? So I have a 16-year-old, and the first time she came to Barbados, she was 8 months old. Nobody could drink more Molly than her, and you know, she came here every summer with my mom from the ages of 8 months until the pandemic hit. And she considers herself very Bajan, and she considers this home as well.
Is there anything that you said that you learned from Barbados culture that you carried over with you? Confidence.
Just that inner strength always. I don't know what Bajans have that make them so they're very proud. They're very, very proud people. Yeah. And we just get it done. Whatever it takes, we just get it done. So I just have that inner strength, and I see it in the culture. I see it in my mom. I saw it in my dad. I see it in my cousins. I see it in my aunts. I see it in my uncles. You know, so yeah.
That is beautiful. Is there anything, as I mentioned, like we're heading to your childhood home, is there anything you're looking forward to seeing here?
What would I like to see? I don't know. I love the country. I don't have to be seaside. You know, I don't have to be on that beach. But, you know, on either side of this childhood home is family.
Well, I definitely look forward to seeing, you know, where you grew up. And also, let's touch on this as well, too, because, you know, like we mentioned in the intro, you know, Julia is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to investment banking. So so, you know, we did our research. We did our research.
Okay.
So I want you to tell me a bit about, you know, how you got into it.
Okay. So my dad, Everton Greenwich, who was from Blades Hill, St. Philip, was a brilliant mathematician. Brilliant. And so when he came from Barbados, he started working in Wall Street.
Ooh, okay.
And he was a trader. He was a bonds trader for years and years and years and years and years. When there's this thing in North America called take your children to work day.
Yeah.
Right. And before that was an official thing, my father used to take me to work every now and again. And I would be sitting, this little dark-skinned girl, on the trading desk with him and hear all these people screaming things back and forth. And in high school, I was interested. My mother is a registered nurse, and so I said to my mom, I think, you know, when you start thinking about what you want to do for your next, you know, after high school and your college major and stuff, I said to her, I think I'm interested in medicine. I think I want to be a nurse. And she said, no, be like your father. And I was like, what?
Yeah,
really?
What was her reason?
I don't know. I don't know if she knew that like chemistry was gonna lay me down. I don't know. I don't know if she realized that, she doesn't have a head for physics. I don't know. But she was like, no, I think you should be like your father. And so it's weird because women in general at that time, it wasn't like a big thing, I think, even in like the 80s. So I said okay, and I started to kind of target myself towards finance, marketing, accounting. And I was at a high school in Long Island where they had those subjects. And you could do those subjects for college credit. And so I started doing it for college credit. I actually walked into college my first year as a freshman with like 12 college credits. So that way you kind of like save money on your tuition. And that was the beginning of my love of kind of like finance and, what do I want to do once I get older. And I didn't really want to be an accountant, but I do remember like all the good times that I had with my dad at work. And again, I'm like 8, 9, 10, 12 years old. I'm sitting on a trading desk and at a major Wall Street firm, right? So that's kind of like where I focused after that.
Did you ever have a moment where you felt like, I picked the wrong direction, I should have done the nursing?
Yes, it was when a high school teacher told me that I would never, ever be on Wall Street unless they had a quota.
What is going on with teachers?
I grew up in a predominantly
my goodness
non-melanated
again, your strength
neighborhood.
I'm proud of your strength.
So I said, well, if that's what it is, that's what it is.
You give me the energy of somebody when somebody tells you that you can't, you're like, bet.
but my exam, I mean, he's sitting in a classroom talking to a bunch of kids. My father's already on the street doing it.
True.
So the fact that you're going to tell me that there's no was there a quota with my father, the brilliant mathematician, worked for all these firms?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the reason why we're in this neighborhood going to this, and I'm going to this school, is because of where this man is working. So
I love how I can read your body language and fill in the blanks. All right, so we're now approaching your childhood home. Can I just say your home? Does it still feel like your home?
Yes.
You're now approaching your home. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear all the stories, the more of the stories.
Yeah. This is the home that I think about when I come home.
St. John Breeze is nice though.
These winds are phenomenal. You don't need AC up here. Knock, knock. Come through. Welcome home to the little cottage.
Wow. So tell me, how does it feel to be back here?
It feels amazing. This is home. This is where I bring all my friends. This is where my daughter was raised from 8 months. Every summer she'd be out here. This is where I come back and relax. It's a small cottage, it's not the most, it's modest, but like I love it.
Everything is beautiful. It is a beautiful home.
Thank you.
And I'm seeing your kitchen right here as well too. So I want you to tell me a little bit about your childhood in terms of being in the kitchen with your parents.
Oh, so my mom cooks in here, obviously. And when we were little, this room back here, which is a laundry room, that was the beginning. That was a shower. And then through there was the outhouse. But playing for sure all around this yard. And we had different trees. There was a cherry tree there. And so that's what I remember about being a little kid, running up and down. Neighbors across the street, those homes are no longer there. But neighbors across the street, hearing arguments between, married couples. It was just like so close around here. But yeah, it's beautiful. And again, the house being open, the winds coming through. In this kitchen at night, it was cocoa tea and peanut butter on Shirley biscuits. And
I gotta try that on Shirley biscuits. Yeah, I gotta try that.
I think it was Shirley biscuits, but it was definitely, according to the Americans, a cracker. But it was some kind of biscuit and was definitely peanut butter and cocoa tea. I think to myself, why or how was I drinking cocoa tea or hot chocolate in this heat? But for some reason, it never felt like too hot. I don't remember feeling sweaty or uncomfortable or besides running around the yard.
Yeah.
But this was it. This was a good time.
And talking about running around the yard, I'm actually seeing your backyard right here as well too. So let's go outside. I want you to tell me one of your favorite memories of running around out here. And I got to say this is a beautiful deck. So I want you to tell me a little bit about your childhood in this backyard.
Oh, so let's go up on the deck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall any fencing here at all. This was all one property. There was no road. And just having the expanse of this open field. There were more fruit trees. There were more trees. There was, I believe there was an almond tree. There was a coconut tree like somewhere right here. I definitely remember a cherry tree being around here somewhere that had to go away because of the road that was cut. This property was subdivided a few years ago, but as a little girl, yeah, it was like one big property, and just running around, coming underneath the house when this was a chattel house when I was little. I mentioned it in the bus.
Yeah.
Going under the house and killing things. But just being like in the sun and just running around, being hot, and playing with my cousins and the neighbors, and just enjoying these breezes. As an adult now, when I think about my daughter, I remember like this little patch of dirt here. We've made that into a garden during the summertime when she's here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets to try different things. My niece, who's 25, she comes and she uses this deck. She does yoga all over this deck. It's just a nice, quiet spot to be. You don't always have to be in town, right? And some of my friends like, oh, you live all up there? You want us to drive all up there? Okay, I'll come to you, because being in New York, I could drive.
Yeah, this
right?
drive means nothing.
Right, this drive
nothing.
means nothing to me. And 25, everything is like 15, 25 minutes from everything else. And I could get to them wherever. But when they do come up, my friends come up here, and they're like, these breezes.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, it's nice and quiet, isn't it though?
It is.
I just love it. And again, being in the hustle and bustle of New York, opening these doors, smelling these smells, after a rain, it is to me the most gorgeous smell.
I agree.
Hearing the raindrops on the palin and stuff, I just love it. And the last thing that I do before I leave Barbados is laundry, because although we have a dryer, I like to put my clothes up on the line, get them St. John winds, pack up everything and put it in my suitcase, and off to New York I go.
There's one question though.
Yeah.
Since spending time with you that I did not ask you.
Mm.
What made your parents decide to migrate?
That's a really good question. I think they just thought that they were going to have a better life for a while. I also don't think that they intended to stay.
Oh.
I think that they were coming for, just a quick, 10 years or so. And no, they ended up staying. My dad just kept getting promotions at his job. And my mom did well as a registered nurse. We were in great schools, great school districts, and, they stayed. But the connection to home always remained, right? So 2-3 times a year as a little girl, I would be home, spend summers home. Anytime somebody dies, you're coming home.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't left in New York while my parents came home. My parents took me with them. And then my brother, who was born in the States, when he was about 6 months old, my mother shipped him right to this house, right here. And for 2 years, he grew up here. So much so that when my father came to get him, he didn't even know my father.
Oh, wow.
He didn't even know his father.
Yeah.
He knew my grandfather, my great-grandfather, Papa, is what we called him. And as an adult, he came back here 2015, 16, somewhere around there, sat on that step right there and just kind of like got really emotional, kind of like recalling the ancestry. Mm-hmm. Just remember remembering what it was like for him as a 2-year-old, a toddler, and just like kind of letting that wash over him. So so this is home. These are our ties.
Do you, maybe you have a next stop to go to, but I have to ask, do you ever see yourself later on in life moving back to Barbados?
100%. 100%.
Look at that. All right, so let's go to our next stop.
Next stop.
All right, so we're heading to St. John Parish Church right now for the Heritage Center. Now, we have the We Gatherin celebrations in Barbados that happens in different parish each month. This month is happening in St. John. So because of that, the BTMI is doing the Heritage Center in St. John at the St. John Parish Church, all right? So I want to know from you, like, how important is heritage to you?
The cultural significance of a rich history is extremely important. It kind of grounds you and defines, obviously, where you come from. And then the traditions that you experience, it's really good to know where those come from, how they were derived, how they may have changed, how you might want to change them going forward. So heritage is extremely important. It's all about connection and roots and giving yourself like a lot of confidence is what I believe.
Yeah.
So
outside of home, is there anywhere else in St. John that you say you really connect with?
I absolutely love St. John Parish Church, actually. I do. I mean, first of all, the Honorable David Thompson, I believe, is buried there.
Yes, correct.
If you walk around St. John's Parish Church, I believe like some of those headstones are from like the 1600s, right? It is so culturally rich.
Yeah.
And the other thing I like about St. John is finding a good rum shop. So those are my two things. They might be, completely, diametrically opposed, but rum shops and old churches are my favorite things because you get so much rich history and stories from each, right? Some of them are whispered to you from the graveyards or the graveside or, from the church. And that actually happened to me when I was sitting at a church service in St. John Parish Church. And I won't tell you exactly what I was praying for or asking God about. But the answer that I got was to be still and to not.
Oh.
And I didn't. And it turned out well.
Wow.
So I listened there. And then the stories that you get from, older folks at rum shops they just hurt my stomach so much laughing. I just love that. So rum shops and old graveyards are the things I love about St. John. Sorry.
Hopefully we might be able to pass a rum shop today for you. But we just
pour a
pulled
little
up.
For the folks that ain't here.
There we go. We just pulled up to the church.
Yeah.
So we're going to go take a walk around and check out the Heritage Center.
Oh, awesome.
Now this is about to be another fun part, Julia. So I know your friends are gonna get a chance to actually express a bit of your heritage as well.
Yeah.
All right, so ladies, welcome.
Come on, girls.
Thank you.
And this is St. John's Parish Church. All right, so we're gonna head upstairs quickly. This is the Heritage Center. The We Gatherin Heritage Centers, open monthly in each parish, are unique community spaces where history comes alive. Residents and visitors alike can explore rich exhibitions of local stories, cultural artifacts, and traditions. These centers hold the spirit of Barbados, from memories at the standpipe to the heartfelt joy of leaving your mark with a stamped message on your home parish. They're a great opportunity to reminisce and connect. All right, ladies, so before we leave St. John's Parish Church, there's a gorgeous view that I have to show you.
Okay.
Watch your step.
Woo!
Look at the view.
Yes, Barbados. Wow. Amazing. This is beautiful. This is so magnificent. This is Barbados.
All right, ladies, it has been an amazing day so far. Julia, it has been a pleasure sharing your birthday with you for sure.
Thank
we
you,
got
thank you.
one more stop.
Okay.
It's your favorite place.
Let we go.
Is there anything that when you are in North America, you crave it and you're like, I wish I could get home and eat this one thing, but I
Besides
can't.
Chefette? All right, then. I mean, always loving Chefette.
What from Chefette? Tell me, what's on the menu for you? What's your favorite
so
thing
it has
from
to
Chefette?
be all chicken roti, a snack box, a slice of pizza with the pineapple on it, ice cream. Did I already go through the whole menu?
Continue, you're going good.
It's sad. I mean, I like Chefette so much that the thing that used to keep me, so when I was younger and we would come back, coming back to the US, to the States, I would cry. I would just bawl, like just tears. The thing that stopped me from crying is when Chefette got into the airport. All of a sudden, tears a little, drying up. That's what that is. That's what that means to me. And then, 2 years ago, I think there was a Chefette truck in Midtown.
I was not about to ask you, how did you feel to see that?
See that? I was in that hot line for like 3 hours. Repping Barbados in a Barbados t-shirt and sweating. Got one roti and come along very happy.
Only one?
That's it.
Set up in 3 hours?
3 hours.
That boy.
That's how much I love my and my culture.
That's beautiful though. Just hearing that. Because usually people will say different things and be like, oh, this, that. But I said Chefette.
I mean,
I love
I'm
my
gonna keep it real. It is what it is.
It is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
So tell me, what will you be taking home in your suitcase?
Mauby,
Of course.
seasoning, pepper sauce. And I also need the noodles that make macaroni pie.
Only normal macaroni.
Yeah, see,
we
that's
just call it
normal
macaroni.
here. Right.
Yeah, we just call it
that ain't macaroni in the States. There are 50 types of macaroni in the States. There's elbow, shells.
I think ours actually just says macaroni on it.
It does say macaroni on
does
it.
say macaroni
And
on
we
it.
don't get those long tubes. This is the one I can't get at home.
Yeah.
So I bought 2 packages to take back.
Okay, nice. So it's Mauby, it's macaroni.
Anchor
What else?
cheese.
Anchor cheese. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to get some frozen Chefette rotis. Abi.
All chicken. I remember it. All chicken.
And I didn't get it this time, and I don't even know how it is this season, but I usually try to get flying fish. What else am I taking home? Rum, of course, I said that.
Yes.
I should say it again.
Yes, rum.
My mom loves falernum, so sometimes I try to take home a falernum. And yeah, whatever my suitcase could hold for the 50 pounds is what I try to take home.
And I asked you earlier about your favorite food, and you mentioned the Chefette. But is there anything else that you would say growing up, that your mom made or anybody in your family made? You was like, yeah, that's some good Bajan food right there.
Pigtail soup.
Ooh.
My
Which
grandmother.
type of, just pigtail soup, is split pea or just normal? Any matter?
I think just normal.
Okay.
But my grandmother made split pea soup that was amazing. I loved it so much. So, I mean, did I say? I mean, sorry, pigtail soup, right? And I learned to love cuckoo. I wasn't loving it as a youngster, but I definitely love cuckoo and salmon. That's like Saturday meals is salmon. and cuckoo. Sunday dinner, where anybody could come to our house. There was always a plate of food for anybody. So, but that's rice and peas, a veg, coleslaw. You must have coleslaw, macaroni pie, baked chicken.
That's what we call proper Sunday food.
Proper Sunday food. Proper Sunday food. It was so bad at one point. I was like, I don't think I could ever marry anybody who does not understand that I have to have rice and peas every Sunday. Every Sunday. Must have rice and peas.
So tell me, is there anything else that you would say, like when you moved, that your family said this has to remain part of our life. This has to be a tradition, even in another country.
I mean, besides church?
No, tell us about that too.
Family was a big deal because, again, at the time we came over, the laws were a little bit more lax, right? And you could sponsor people. So we had lots of cousins, nieces and nephews and uncles and aunts staying with us for, short periods of time while they cashed the self and, found employment and stayed, maybe with another family member for, a few months. So there was always, family was important. And those traditions that the family would bring over when they came also kept things fresh and alive for me, right? So again, I remember learning how to 3-step from my cousin now when I was like 16. That was like a big deal to me.
Yeah.
3-stepping. You wouldn't catch me dead doing it now at Q in the community, but like, because that's telling my age. But
I know what you're saying. So like everybody of all ages be going to the community doing the low side steps.
Well, the whole dance floor is going around.
It's true.
And around and around. But yeah, things like that, like just staying close with the family that came to the States after us was also a very important part of heritage, learning, keeping in touch with your roots. So, we still have some very close family members left here, right? But the ones that are there also come back to do things like kite flying for like Easter and, do their own kind of like small family gatherings too. It's very good. And then seeing those people who are now, parents and even grandparents bringing their kids and grandkids back home is also a big deal.
Do you believe that contributed to you not being lost in another culture, but staying true to yourself?
100%. 100%. I didn't have to go looking for other friends that, or lose myself in other friends. Now, all these friends back here, Jamaican, Panamanian, and my friend that was from the Dominican Republic, there's a common thread between, be through all of us, right? And that's important. I go over to Maria's house. The family is Dominican. They're all speaking Spanish. My child is interpreting the Spanish for me because I don't know that.
Nice.
But like she's so, she lives at their house sometimes when I'm away. Like she's hanging out for days with them, or not days, but like overnight. And it's just great for her to have that culture. Now what she's going to do is she's going to bring her friends to Barbados.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
At 14, 15, 16, she knows that. And she has the house to do it. So that's important. They might be making Dominican cake in the house in Barbados in Rosegate, but that's kind of how those things translate. So I look forward to her doing that. And then my friends here, they're here. And it's just important that
I love how they're all embracing their culture. They're all curious.
They do embrace it.
I remember I heard somebody in the group say "my home," and I'm still like, "Wait." I love that.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep. So it's a good thing. I just love being back here. I love boasting about Barbados. we'll have arguments, even though I may not know all the facts. I might make some up, but I just love talking about, the culture and who we are, introducing people to the prime minister, or people asking me questions because they saw her on a video somewhere. I love listening to live music here. The talent that is here on island is amazing. And
Sure.
I used to come home to Jazz Fest and Reggae Fest, and I would come by myself. And what I learned coming by myself is there was always room down front for one. And I would sit there and go to every show by the chicks and just like have that music wash over me, and the local talent that would come on stage. I just love that. Last night happened to be at a restaurant and heard Arturo tapping and went up to him at the end, and I was like, oh my God, I remember you when you were at the 92nd Street Y in New York. And he was like, yeah, that's when I had locks and when I had hair. And I was like, yes, I remember. But I will always tell people that Arturo Tappan is the best, one of the best musicians in Barbados.
Yep, he is.
Like, amazing. So very proud of that. I'm proud of the young lady who's the gymnast representing Barbados. And as long, it doesn't matter where we not start, but you start off here, you might go to school in the States, you might get more training in the States, whether that's athletic or schooling or whatever. But as long as you remember where you started,
correct,
and you bring back, when you come back, not just come back, but bring back, I think it's,
as long as you come home.
Come home.
See, but now we just arrived at your favorite spot. We're gonna get you all chicken roti.
And a large Mulvey with extra ice.
Wait, what?
They're hot.
Catch me off guard. Alright, so first bite gone. How it is?
Sorry, I didn't even wait for you.
It's alright.
Sorry. Good. Really
exactly
good.
How you remember it.
Exactly how I remember.
So is there anything that you would say when it comes to like the Barbadian culture, especially our food, that your friends overseas don't understand?
My friends, luckily I have a group of friends that, are open to different things, different, culturally. So I think the only thing that they would not understand is, what's the black thing? Not sauce, black pudding. Black pudding. But they don't make it the same way that they used to anymore with the blood and all this other stuff. So it's just a nice thing to have if it's a Saturday and I go out and get something from Brooklyn, from one of the restaurants in Brooklyn. But I also try to bring home, I think I mentioned this before, hot sauce.
Yeah.
You're
mentioning difference too.
Yeah. So I have friends and colleagues that are like East Indian and Asian, and they absolutely prefer the pepper sauce from Barbados. They're accustomed to more of a tomato-based sauce, pepper sauce, but I think they really like the mustard base. It's different, and they put it on everything. So I have a bottle at my desk at work, and people use it they come around for lunch. Some people would put it on salad. And then I've actually started like instead of taking rum, I would take pepper sauce. It's much lighter to take home, first of all, but they really appreciate it. So for special people, they get their own bottle.
And I remember, I know, but our conversations are always so good. As you see, I'm like taking a chip and enjoying the conversation. We would eat afterwards. Like I said, if Lippy started to eat, he's sure done. So we go where I go where so you can feel free to eat.
Okay.
But I have another question for you as well too, because you mentioned the stuff you're taking home. Mm-hmm. So you're definitely taking home some roadies as well too, right?
Yes, frozen roadies from
right.
Yep.
All right.
At least 4. At least.
And when you get on the plane, what is the one thing that you can say you're gonna miss?
Oh, one thing that I'm going to miss and look forward to getting back to is the peace, the breeze, the rum, and the connections. It is so peaceful. The minute the plane lands at Grantley Adams, that door opens and the Barbados smells waft in. I am completely at peace.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Well, just say you had a great birthday.
Oh, fantastic.
What's on the agenda for the rest of the day?
Tonight, I think we're gonna go home, get changed. I know I'm eating this roadie, but later on we'll go and go to dinner.
Nice.
At one of the favorite spots. And chill. Pack tonight, cry a little maybe, because we're leaving. But yeah, one of the things I also do once I get home is I look at my work calendar and immediately start preparing the next trip home.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So,
and I gotta say, it really was a pleasure just spending the day with you, talking to you. And this is another thing that We Gatherin is about, letting people just explore, experience their heritage, no matter where you are in the world. We say home drums beat first, right?
That's right.
Before we leave, you gotta do the catchphrase. You gotta say, "Come along." I want her.
Where do you want me to look? Where do you want me to look?
Where's up?
Come home. Come long. Hurry. Don't drag on the feet. Come to Barbados. Come back. When it's ready, we gather it. How's that?
All right, I can pause with questions and allow you to get a little
Thank
bite.
you.
I'm watching your side of the roti every few seconds.
I can barely concentrate on these questions.